I think this year's Premier League is fascinating. I still believe the race will be between the two Manchester clubs, and Manchester City would be my favourite. My only doubt would be not having won the league for such a long time and never having won the Premier League, whether in the end they will have that will and determination. At this level, the difference in quality, in playing ability is not great, but that difference in believing you can win makes all the difference in the end of the day. We have 7 clubs who on their day could challenge each other and who could all be contenders for the 4 spots of the Champions League. Now that hasn't happened for a long time. For about half a dozen years, the 3 clubs that dominated English football was Manchester United, Chelsea and Arsenal. Chelsea are still coming to terms with their new manager and they have struggled. Arsenal have major problems in the sense that maybe we are seeing the twilight of Arsene Wenger. That's a difficult thing to say because Wenger has been such a revolutionary, not only at Arsenal but in English football, but maybe we are seeing that. Tottenham have emerged, quite surprisingly in the opinion of many people, but they've played some very good football. And perhaps the most surprising packet has been Newcastle. Newcastle went down 2 years ago, backed by Ashley's money, not a man loved by the fans, but his money meant they could still play Premiership wages in the Championship. Many other clubs, when they get relegated from the Premiership, their whole future isn't put in doubt. That was not the case with Newcastle. They've come back and, surprisingly, under the managership of Alan Pardew, who was a very surprising choice, much criticised by the fans, they've played some very strong, very good football, which has meant that they have tested a lot of teams and they could be a possible outside contender for that 4th spot, depending on how it goes. So, what has happened is the Premiership has become a bit more like the old First Division, where half a dozen clubs used to jostle for position. What has happened at the bottom is that the clubs coming up have measured themselves much better as to what they need to do to survive in the Premiership. We are seeing this with the performance of Swansea and to a certain extent even Norwich. What exactly they need to do, what they need to do at home and what they need to do away, so that the idea that a club comes up and is a one-season wonder and then goes down again, spends a lot of money, probably gets into debt, is not happening. And these clubs, there's quite a clutch of clubs. It's much more difficult to predict who will actually go down. You would expect that the 3 who would go down, among them would be 1 or 2 of the promoted clubs. QPR could well be one of them. But QPR have high ambitions. They've got a new owner who wants the club to be a permanent part of the Premiership, even one day challenge for the title. That seems an unlikely thing in the immediate future. But nevertheless, the horizons of these clubs are different. And therefore, if you like, the old system of English football, which used to prevail for a long time, has come back. English football at a time looked like it was going towards Spain and Italy, where only a couple of clubs make all the running and the rest are nowhere. That is changing. And one reason for this is that 3 years ago, Ronaldo could move from Manchester United to Real Madrid for 90 million. Yes, big transfers will take place, but not at that scale. What we are now seeing is a transfer market because of the economic impact, and the economic impact has had a tremendous impact on football, there's no doubt about it. That size of money is no longer available. So therefore, there are clubs who can buy players at 10, 12, 15, 20 million, as opposed to having to pay 40 or 50 million. And that is, if you like, equalizing the Premier League to an extent. So QPR can come in and buy a player from Chelsea, Alex the defender, much prized in Chelsea, and pay a reasonable sum of money, which a few years ago would not have happened.